Oh my god! They actually did it! You crazy sons of bitches, you did it! Crystal Palace have won their first ever major trophy, and it's a good one. It's the Football Association's Challenge Cup against the big bad guys, Man City, the Abu Dhabi state-backed project, the evil empire led by world-class manager Pep Guardiola, super Nordic giant striker Erling Haaland, generational maestro Kevin De Bruyne, and all damn other man. They couldn't get past Dean Henderson. And yes, there was the handball. Yes, there was the saved penalty. And was it even a penalty? My giddy aunt, this was the only way Palace were going to win this. And unless you're a Manchester City or a Brighton fan, you are going to be made up. This is a sensational result. Eberechi Eze's goal, and boy, what a goal, has won the FA Cup for Crystal friggin' Palace. And there was fights from the physios. There was, like I said, penalties. There was handballs. And there was a whole lot of pressure from Manchester City on the Crystal Palace goal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Yannick. How are you doing? Look, if you're a Man City fan, I'm sorry. By the way, welcome back. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. We're getting so many more new subscribers here on the channel. And I'm genuinely very humbled and thankful for that. So thank you for subscribing. We're over 16,500 now, which is dope. So I really appreciate that. Look, Man City fans, let's get in early. If you're here, hi, welcome. You are welcome. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. I'm a playful, bantery intro, but you've had it all your own way for so long. You will have to understand, as much as it sucks losing a final, trust me, I've been at Wembley watching my team lose to a final to Manchester City. Yeah, sorry, the Kepa don't want to come off game. I was there, so I've watched a couple of cup losses. That was a League Cup, but I've also watched an FA Cup loss as well. So I know what it's like, trust me. But you've had it all your own way for a long time. Other people are having fun, and I'm sure Man City, if it was Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Liverpool in that position losing to Palace and Palace getting their first ever major trophy, they would be made up, Man City fans. So I'm sure they can understand the feeling here. My word. So let's talk about the game a little bit, yeah? First, because I mean, we'll get into the game in just a second then. Look, I don't know what else to say. It's their first ever major trophy. They won some sort of plastic trophy in the early 90s, but this is their first real trophy ever in their proud, long, extensive existence, Palace. This is I can't stress this enough. This is monumentally historic, especially considering the opposition, yeah? Ollie Glasner, who did well at Frankfurt, has come in and done wonders. He had a difficult start to this season. I think he also struggled losing Elise for a bit. But he had a difficult start. They didn't mind. They kept their powder dry. They kept Palace hierarchy. He's come good again, and they are mustard, mate. And look, they're going to be in the Europa League. They're in Europe, dude. Not even the conference. They are in the Europa League. They've got the FA Cup, a wicked trophy, and they're in Europe, Europa League. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I really need to power home how big this is. It's massive. And look, Palace, yeah, they're a London, not rival, but, you know, it's a London derby when my mob play them. They can be a nasty bunch. They've got a great fan base, very, very vocal. But I'm absolutely made up for them. Because this is huge. European tour. Imagine those fans going on a European tour. They're going to love it. It's just amazing. So we'll talk about the game a little bit. Pep went a little bit Guardiola. He didn't play any form of holding midfielder. He played Ortega in goal, O'Reilly, the young lad, Gvardiol, Diaz, and Akanji in the back line with Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield, which is Kev's not he's strong, but that's not a robust midfield. And then Marmoush behind Haaland, flanked by Doku and Savinho, and we saw substitute appearances from Foden, Ilkay Gundogan. And yeah, man, the new youngster, Echeverry from River Plate, Taka, he came on, got booked. But apparently he's amazing. He's a sort of attacking midfielder, forwarder, striker. The Man City fans, by all accounts, have been calling out for him for a long, long time. We saw the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 from Ollie Glasner, which is, of course, Henderson in goal. More on him in a moment. He was the player of the match on SofaScore that I'm looking here. Possibly for BBC or the FA Cup player of the match, I'm yet to see. I had to just record immediately afterwards. I was so excited. Richards, who's very impressive. He's really come onto his own this season. Lacroix and Mark Guehi, who had to come off the Crystal Palace captain. I think concussion. He took a shot to the ball to the face. He tried to play on for a bit, but then came off and was replaced by Jefferson Lerma. Munoz got the all-important assist on that right wing-back role. He's an absolute... sorry, Palace fans. I'm not sure how long. He's probably going to stay for the European adventure. Surely, all are, because you've just won the FA Cup and you're going to go in Europe. This is so exciting for them. Mitchell, left wing back. Kamada and Wharton in midfield. And then Sarr and Eze behind the giant that is Mateta. We saw Jefferson Lerma come on for the injured Mark Guehi. Nketiah came on from Mateta at the 78th minute just to off some legs. And Wharton in the midfield, who I thought was sensational for Crystal Palace. What a midfielder. I'm starting to think I want him to start for England, next to Bellingham and Rice or something. And Thomas Tuchel, of course, was watching on at Wembley. He had to come off very late on in the 87th minute after, I think, himself taking a ball in the face. But he wasn't 100% fit and Will Hughes replaces him. So that's everyone who featured. Now, I was concerned for Man City because of that midfield. But the truth is, the Guardiola plan broadly worked, guys. It was squeeze the effing life out of the game and keep the ball. And if Palace don't have the ball, then they can't score. For reference, in the first half, Man City had 81% possession. But in the whole game, they had 78% possession. They only created one big chance. Out of 23 shots, only one big chance. Whereas... Palace didn't create any, but their goal was pretty magnificent. Palace themselves had 7 shots, and I think they had a similar amount of goals on shots on target. But in terms of field tilt, general play, having the ball, it was all Man City. But Palace didn't give a ruddy so-and-so because let's walk you through what happened, yeah? Because in the 16th minute, an amazing break, great combinational play from Mateta playing out to Munoz, who plays it across to Eze, who finishes beautifully, keeps it low, and finishes it in the sort of bottom corner where Ortega can't get. And it's a wonderful counter-attacking goal. I was looking at this point on social media. Man City fans were like, yeah, we are doing well here. And it was, against the run of play, but this is the game plan for Palace. Yeah, they soak it up. Counter-attack with the wing-backs and, using Mateta. It's the game plan. It wasn't like, oh, that's a weird goal out of nowhere out of the run of play. No, this is their attack. This is their tool. This is their edge. And they executed it perfectly, as is their want, And okay, so let's talk about the controversial things. So firstly, the handball. Okay, so the handball, yeah, it's tough, right? So Dean Henderson, who, by the way, at this point was having a wobbler, he had an amazing game. Yeah, amazing game in the end. If you sort of take out these two events. So he sort of early doors falls back. He doesn't need to even touch the ball. He grabs it and lands, and it goes out of play, and he gifts a needless corner to Man City, which was an early indicator that he's feeling the nerves. He didn't even need to grab it. He could have just left it go out, or he could have just grabbed it and not fallen like that. And then he goes out to Haaland, and he knocks the ball away when Haaland's going for it. And he, clear as day, handballs it outside of the box. And handballs it away. Now, at the very least, yeah, and of course VAR can't get involved for this. At the very least, it's a yellow card and a free kick from where he handballs it. Okay, at the very least. But because that's a particular thing that VAR can't get involved with, it has to be a red card for them to get involved, and like a penalty. It won't be a penalty because it happens outside the box anyway, but it has to, So is it, and to be a red card, he needs to be denying Erling Haaland a clear, hear the words, clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity. Dogzo, they call it. Now, I can understand why Man City fans are going to be very, very disappointed. And it would have ruined the contest if he got sent off. Let's be real. As a contest, it would have been ruined. I can understand why Man City fans are disappointed. There is a debate that Lacroix is covering, and because of the direction Haaland is going, Haaland's actually sort of not facing the goal. It's not like he's running in on goal, facing the goal, and there's no defenders. It's not as clear as that. So it isn't as clear as it could be, you know, and because of the Lacroix's location and the sort of direction of travel from Haaland, you know, VAR are like, okay. But I totally understand why they'd be very upset. You know, Wayne Rooney, who's, you know, Man United, he's definitely not saying, he says it's a red card on the coverage on the BBC. Yeah, if you're a City fan, I totally understand it. I don't think it's as obvious as, you know, because there is just a VAR, there is an instance that VAR could just look at it and go, well, there's no way we cannot give this because it will be on the back papers for weeks. Like if you know, if Haaland's through on goal and there's no other defenders anywhere and he's literally facing goal, it's not as clear cut as that. But yeah, you know, I can understand entirely why Man City fans would be very disappointed with that. But there is another controversial decision where young Mitchell puts a slide tackle in. It does look like he gets the ball, but concedes a penalty. It looks like it's a weird one. I think it's on Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva's being very clever, like experienced, intelligent in terms of trying to win the penalty, which he gets. But it does sort of also look like he wins the ball. But the thing is with Mitchell, at first he's like, no, it's not a penalty. But then he doesn't protest. And but the fact how he doesn't protest, I'm like, oh, it's a penalty. But if he's like, no, I got the ball. Like, why are we even looking? If he carried on like that, more theatrically, I think everyone would be like, yeah, it's never a pen. Because people looked at it afterwards in like, you know, in the studio and replays, and people that I was watching it with were like, yeah, it's not a penalty. It was given as a penalty. And of course, there's another peculiar moment where Erling Haaland, the penalty taker, picks up, kisses the ball, and gives it to Omar Marmoush. And Marmoush doesn't convert the penalty, which is, again, if you're not a City fan or a Brighton fan, it's just lovely. It's great. Yeah. So there's been a lot of controversy, and to Marmoush, it's a good save. It's not a howler from Marmoush. You know, it's not penalties. A lot of people will tell you, oh, if it's a penalty, you shouldn't give them the opportunity to save it if you're a good penalty taker. And maybe that's true to a degree. That Harry Kane just puts in a corner, they simply can't get into that corner. They can't reach. So you give them a chance to save it with not an amazing penalty. But it is a good save from Henderson, and 1-0 goes in at halftime. In the 61st minute, though, there's a goal from Palace that gets ruled out from a touch, a deflection from an offside. Who is it at that point? I think it's Sarr, Ismail Sarr at that point. And it's annoying because the goal itself looked fine in terms of Munoz finishing it, who loves a goal, by the way. Obviously made the other goal, the winning goal in this game. What a player he is, Munoz. And you're thinking, yes, 60 minutes. But yeah, you see it. It deflects off a guy standing offside. Of course, it can't be given. And then we see a whole host of cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second half from Man City, and only one from Palace, and that was for time wasting from Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper. And it's an agonising 10-minute stoppage time. We see the young River play forward, Echeverry, whatever. He also fouled Ebereche, so Echeverry fouled Ebereche, and it was a big mouthful. Agonizing stoppage time, and look, Man City fans can ultimately, you know, they understand, they can moan about the handball, and that will be discussed for a long time, but, you know, you got a soft penalty. If it wasn't a penalty, you missed it, and you didn't take your chances. Your team didn't turn up, and it was a lovely contest. There was fights in the stands from, you know, freaking physios and stuff. It was just a great contest. It's just great. It's lovely. It's lovely. What else to say? Dean Henderson, I'm just looking at quotes now. I already knew I would save Marmoush penalty. I knew where he was going. Oh, bless him. I lost my dad at the start of the season. I'll miss him here today, but he's with me. Oh, that's lovely. Kevin De Bruyne, of course, last final as a Man City player, says goodbye. And he had played a pretty good game, although he got a little bit wound up. But, I mean, it's just huge, man. I'm so happy about it. Like, you know, Man City fans, I'm sure they'll be okay. They'll probably win a Champions League next season and get away with their court case, and everything will be fine with them. But this is an amazing, amazing story, amazing game, amazing final, amazing result. And yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for joining me. Multiple uploads on this channel, so thank you for liking. This video. Like the video, please. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.